On this episode of BS Garage, we're going to be working on my 65 Impala. You can see the 409 is back in, looking super sexy. But before we fire it up, we got to build exhaust. I got a universal hot rod kit. I have an X-pipe kit from Summit Racing, some V-band clamps, and God, what am I running for mufflers? Cherry bombs. That's right, we're running cherry bombs on this thing. Nice and loud, but not too loud. So let's get to it. So here's some of the pipes that we're going to be working with. I got the X-pipe kind of already mocked up in there. I'll show you that in a minute. But this is like a universal hot rod kit I got on eBay. Fairly inexpensive, but it's not the aluminized kind because I plan on painting this a VHT high temp black when it's all done. And these are the cherry bombs I'm going to run. They're a chambered muffler. They're loud, but not too loud. A nice muscle car sound. Yeah, I plan on running this all the way out the back. But let me show you what I already got done. So first things first with this setup, I had to get the X-pipe exactly where I wanted it. I actually raised the transmission crossmember up about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch just to gain a little bit extra ground clearance because this car is on A-ride. And I don't want to like lay it out and have that be on the ground. But yeah, before we hit the X-pipe though, I got some flex pipes because I really want to hard mount this as much as possible. So now we just have to come up with the exhaust manifold flange to the flex pipe. We got to make that pipe in there. That's what we're going to do right now. So as you can see, this is not a true 45-degree angle, and our first goal is to get this on the same plane. So I'm going to do some cuts. Do some cuts here in order to bring this up, in order to line up with that, and then I'll drop it. But then I will take more off the top here in order to line it up perfectly. All right, as you can see, I got the pie cut right there, which allows me to push it into itself. When you do it right on the bend there. Let me see if I can line this up. There we go. So now when I push that up like that, it's in the same plane. So we're getting closer. Got this one side done. Yeah, you can see where I pie cut it there, and then I just welded it all back together. And then you just got to make your cuts. You know, it's going to sneak up on you. So I don't know how many, I bet I cut it 10 times before I got it to fit correctly, but it doesn't hang any lower than the transmission or the oil pan, so that's absolutely perfect. Now I just got to make the other side, and then I will tack all this together here and finish up the X-pipe. Passenger side downpipe is complete. Had to do the same thing. Pie cut it there, welded it back together in order to get the correct angle. These things are very symmetrical, very even. Now I'm going to go ahead and tack all these in place, take them out, and then finish weld just this X-pipe up, and then move on to mocking up the back. Here's the X-pipe, all tack welded together, and then I pulled it out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish weld this thing, then throw it back in, and then work my way back. by no means the world's best welder. I'm still learning, but this will definitely hold, definitely do, and that's why God made grinders. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this X-pipe. I'm just going to let it cool down a little bit, then I'm going to throw it back in. One thing I do have to add is a bung for an O2 sensor, kind of right about in that area there, because I am running the Sniper EFI system on here. So we're going to do that in just a minute. Fully welded X-pipe all in with downpipes. So now we're kind of still hitting in this area here. So I think I'm going to take my hammer and dent it down after marking out where it needs to, be beaten. Same thing on this side in order to make it clear, because you don't want it to rattle at all. Obviously, that would suck. And then I think that because, let me see if I can grab this. In order to run this as close as I can, like in this area here, I'm probably going to have to cut off a section of this here in order to keep this radius tighter. My camera work is amazing. So I think that's what I'm going to do too. Take it out, beat it up, and then cut that. Back at it. It's been a couple days. I'm sure I forgot to film a few things here and there, but this is how far I am now. Got the X-pipe, that's all completely welded up, and then it goes underneath the main part of the car into the mufflers, and then pretty much cuts off right before the axle, so that way I can just mount my tail sections quickly and easily using those V-band clamps. Yeah, I really like it. It fits nice and tight up in there, but right now, because I know that this is complete, I want to prep it and paint it and get it up in the car so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then after that, I will build the tail sections. But like I said, right now, we're going to prep it. Lots of prep in order to make sure that paint sticks. And then I have a bunch of this VHT flame-proof black that we're just going to coat it in. That should be good to go. Once that dries, then we can throw it up in the car. Right, bud? You don't care. All prepped, to my liking anyway. But now we got to figure out a way to hang this outside in order to spray it down and paint it black so we can put it back. Nailed it. You just kind of got to use what you got lying around. Let's get to painting. All black. I'm just gonna let this sit outside, bake a little bit, about an hour or so, then we'll throw it on the car. I think we can fire this thing up. The exhaust is on it now, the O2 sensor is hooked up, fuel pump is in, Actually, I want to undo that. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to crank it over, try to build oil pressure. And then once that oil pressure is built, I know that the top end's nice and lubed up. And then I'll plug that back in. We can fire it. I'm nervous, but we're gonna give it a shot. Now I'm just going to plug in the relay for the fuel pump, and then I'll turn that on, and then I'll go and check and just make sure I don't have any fuel leaks. We had good oil pressure, by the way. It went almost up to 65, 70. Prime it a couple times. Those on the compressors kicking on. I shouldn't have any leaks because the only thing I put back on were these, and I know I tightened them up. Okay, there goes nothing. That is so awesome. Oh my gosh, what a freaking relief. I love that. That is exciting. We are this close to getting this thing on the road. Just a few bit more things to do. Like I want to do some upgrades on the rear end. But after that, we are going to drive this thing. And we're going to drive the crap out of this thing. Well, I think that's where I'm going to end the episode. I have to build the rest of the exhaust, I know. But like, holy crap, what a milestone that It fired up! It's running! I am ecstatic, obviously, as you can see. So, if you made it this far, thank you. Consider subscribing. Give me one of these. I'd really appreciate it. I love this stuff. Thanks for watching.